wouldn't say no. Really, like I'm gonna say like hell no, just because of this, right? Just because of this. When Zion is healthy, which isn't very often, right? But when he is healthy, he's probably a top 10, top 7 player in the NBA, right? You don't just readily trade that unless you're getting back at least a top 12 player. You don't, that's not what you do. You just don't do that. You rarely ever win those trades. The only way you do that is if Zion says matter of factly, yo, I don't want to be here. Right. And even then it's like, well, you got 5 years on the contract with no options. So you might want to get comfortable. You know what I'm saying? You might, don't sell your house just yet. So nah, of course you don't put Zion on the market unless someone comes and they just like, they blow you away with an offer like, hey, what you want to do, Joel for Zion straight up? Like, yeah, let's do that. Or, even Luka for Zion straight up. Like you strongly consider that, like, you know what I'm saying? But nah, you don't put Zion on the market because you're not necessarily going to be able to replace him. I don't think this team would be very good. Look, Zion didn't play many games this season. He played 29. If you replace Zion with let's say a C+ player, and let's say that C+ player let's say he played 70 games. This team probably isn't sniffing the play-in. This team probably doesn't do nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? This team probably still isn't playing meaningful games at the end of the season, right? You just got a guy who can single-handedly make up for how terrible this staff is, how, questionable the supporting cast is, and he did it alone. He did it, a lot of that without CJ. He did it totally without Brandon. So you got to take that into account. You better try to fix him. You don't throw away a Ferrari because they got a motherfucking scratch on it. You better buff that shit out. You better go to every body shop you can find, no pun intended. So nah, you don't move Zion unless you're totally blown away by the offer, which I don't know if I really see any. I'm sure if an organization was trying to blow it up, they would at least see what they can get. They're like, oh, you want to trade a Zion? But I don't even think realistically Zion's value is at its peak anymore right now, considering his injury history and the off the court stuff. Right now, in fact, I think Zion is in a prove it year. Like, this motherfucker's in a prove it year. He gotta show up and show out. He needs to pull a total Joel Embiid and show up and just be the dominant player we saw before. Whatever happened to his hamstring, I can't even say what happened to the hamstring because I've heard a couple of things. Some of them were totally discouraging, right? Discouraging from a medical standpoint. And I don't necessarily mean the medical staff. They were discouraging from a medical standpoint. And I've heard that how he responded to, some of those things were disappointing. Again, Zion, he gets disappointed, man. And he finds comfort in food like a lot of us. And it's kind of sad because you think about it, dang, he's such a young guy. But, it's like, bro, at some point that light has to come on. You have to want it for yourself. Can't make the club in the tub. And when you find yourself in the tub, you can't have a motherfucking Mountain Dew with you. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't have a Mountain Dew and chips with you in the tub. You gotta stay disciplined, bro. You gotta trust the process, man. And shout out to Joel Embiid. You gotta trust the process, bro. Everyone else believes in you. You just have to believe in you enough to do it for yourself. And I think that day will come. I am confident that will happen. But again, you gotta want it for yourself, bro. This podcast is sponsored by the Birdsall Law Firm, the official injury lawyers of Boot Krewe Media, located at 918 Porter Street by the Superdome. Give them a call at 504-523-5413 if you or someone you know has been involved in an accident, and be sure to mention we sent you. Birdsall Law Firm, the official injury lawyers of Boot Krewe Media.